From Milwaukee, it's Movie Chatter. Welcome. Today we're doing a review of Death on the Nile. 3 of the 4 have seen it. Yeah. Ooh, I love the music, Dave.
Ooh, baby. If there's pyramids in a movie, I'm going to like this movie.
So this has been in the theaters, but now you can see it on what?
Hulu.
And HBOMAX?
And HBOMAX.
Let me just tell you, even though
and theaters as well.
my theater in my house is decommissioned right now, and I had to watch it on a smaller TV, this is one of the most beautiful movies I have ever seen.
I'm with you on that.
It is
beautiful people and beautiful scenery.
I mean, the you know how when you're into photography, right? And you wait for the sunset, or you wait for that light to be that magic moment.
The golden hour.
The golden hour.
Yeah.
This whole movie is shot in the golden hour.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely well done that way.
Oh,
I mean,
my God.
You know, between the sets and the
Magnificent.
costuming
Right.
and the beautiful actors that they have in it,
And
it
then
looks fantastic.
Once I found out that this entire movie was shot in England and everything is fake, there's no boat, there's no Egypt.
Right. You would have never known.
How did
There's
it look?
no
How did it look to
crocodile.
you?
It looked gorgeous.
I mean,
gorgeous.
I thought that boat was real.
They were really on the Nile.
Everything is CG.
Wow, did not realize that it was that much.
I mean, they have jumped the CG level.
Really?
Is so high. I mean, it won awards.
Wow.
For
I did not know that.
Well,
CG.
I feel like that's feasible because it's more of a backdrop nature. It's not CG that they're interacting with.
True,
you know what I mean?
Right. It's not like live CGI.
They're not having
characters.
a fight with a crocodile, but there was one in it.
Yeah.
And
that I didn't know was CGI.
Not for a moment would I have thought it was.
Oh,
fake.
you didn't? I thought that one was. I could tell.
I mean,
just because it was doing something that it would be impossible
its actions
to catch.
were unbelievable.
You know,
how about
like
the long pan of
ate a
Gal
bird.
Gadot walking along the boat, and they're panning the camera as she's walking the whole span.
Yeah,
I thought that was
boat.
fantastic.
Green
That was
screen.
CGI.
Green screen. Yeah, it's all fake.
Green screen.
Green screen.
Wow. Holy shit! I did not know that
Yeah.
at all. Yep, would not have known it.
So if there's probably nobody around that doesn't know, the Death on the Nile is just a whodunit.
Agatha Christie.
a murder mystery.
Yeah.
Classic.
Right.
Somebody's murdered in the beginning, and they try to figure out who did it, right?
Yep.
And the inspector,
While on vacation on the Nile.
And guess what? There might be
investigating.
there may be a couple more murders on the way.
The murder of a young heiress, played by the gorgeous Gal Gadot.
They don't, and it's another thing. They take a minute to get to the actual murder. I don't know.
God,
what,
yeah.
what's the length of this film?
Quite a
It's gotta
while.
be 2 hours. But
2 hours and 7 minutes.
if you see the trailer or if you read the first sentence synopsis, you know that Gal Gadot. I mean, like, you can't be giving anything away there.
She's the heiress.
That's
You're
known.
going to know that.
But they do a good job of keeping you in it and twisting and turning throughout the entire plot.
They really do. They really do. Yeah. I mean, starting with that scene in World War I with a de-aged Kenneth Branagh.
Right.
He is in so
Branagh.
much stuff. Like, he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
No matter what.
You know, they give the backstory on the detective.
Why he needs that giant
Well,
mustache.
That's what's successful about it, I feel like, is that each stage of this clue mystery, you're doing a deep dive on each character, right? Like, every time he goes and questions or like almost like surmises that he has the killer and almost like tries it on for fit, you're doing a deep dive into their backstory. So it's very like character driven that way.
I mean, I really almost didn't want to watch this movie, but I'm going to tell you right away.
Recommend.
He's
speechless.
I love this movie. I mean, maybe it's the pyramids that did it to me, but
it was a nice.
I love this
the
movie.
whole
I
thing.
want to watch it again.
It had great pace. I mean, it had good acting.
Casting, really, too. Like, I felt like there's a lot of names in this movie, but they were a perfect fit for their character.
They
and
really
each character was very quirky and had their own very unique qualities. And
I wonder how much different it was than the book. The novel, the Agatha Christie novel. I mean, it seemed as though some of it might have been updated, but potentially even just the entertainment that came on the boat. I don't know if that would have been the same.
And I mean, it did take place in the 20s, basically.
Yeah,
we're thinking like late 20s,
30s.
30s.
No, it was
20s.
Yes, I think they have a date on it.
They do reference the big crash. So
I thought it was 39. Actually.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, you're right.
You're
right.
Post Great
That's
Depression.
right. It starts very early with World War
One is his origin
yes.
story.
1917.
Then it's like 1936 or 39.
Right, because it is post the big crash. So
yeah.
But how I want to start this is jumping into this Armie Hammer and
Gal Gadot.
No, not Gal Gadot.
Jackie, but that's not her real
Emma
name.
Mackey.
Emma Mackey.
She plays Jackie.
Yes, Jacqueline.
Their
dancing
was so steamy.
David had to excuse himself.
I almost had to excuse myself. I was like, whoa.
Right.
You're doing that in public.
And to me, that's the updated version. There's no way that they
didn't
dancing
dance quite like
I mean,
that.
it was like dirty Humpty Hump dancing.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is,
from the 30s, but it looked good.
What was crazy is Emma Mackey actually kind of when Gal Gadot finally shows up. To me, she kind of outshined her, and then Gal Gadot had to do a little dirty dancing of her own to get it back. Like I thought Emma Mackey actually looked.
You preferred the red dress?
Oh yeah, I preferred her. Yeah, definitely.
Well, absolutely, it was not like a big step up or down. They were on equal footing.
Beautiful women.
So if you're watching a movie, Bill, that's how it's gonna your first 20 minutes or whatever. They're gonna pull you in with all this dirty dancing and stuff.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, it was relatively not graphic, but definitely there's some steamy stuff in there.
Yeah, it was really good.
There was some steam throughout too. Even the scene like when they go and visit, like they go off the boat for a while, and like Gal Gadot and Armie are off on the ledge, and there's some steamy scenes. Yeah, like
good Lord,
you're like you're like looking through.
He is grabbing her and humping her,
right? Which you don't see.
Hard, dry humping.
Yeah, Gal Gadot. This is kind of like the first time. I mean, I don't know if I've seen all of her movies, but she's relatively reserved for the most part.
Wow, is your kids gonna see that?
Yeah, like
no, it's not like fake grabbing. He's grabbing her, and the acting.
Yeah,
there's thrusting of body parts.
There's humping, Humpty Hump. Yeah.
But as far as the plot, so there's that. It's very steamy. It's very beautiful. We've covered that.
And the whodunit part of it.
Yeah,
I love that. Like you said, the whole exposition on each character, and everybody's got a reason.
They take a long time to get there, but it didn't feel long.
No, not
at all.
Yeah.
I mean, although I think I figured it out relatively quickly in this
movie. I
did
too.
Well,
it didn't detract from it. It still was enjoyable to go through it, even though you might know
there was
what was going to happen.
Scenes where I second guessed that I had figured it out. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I got this. But then there was like enough scenes that I was like, maybe not.
Right,
maybe
that's what they did to you. You figured it out early, but then
there's still a twist. There's still a twist. And like maybe like the final nail in the coffin twist.
Right.
You didn't call every single piece of their narrative.
Sure. Yeah. No, you didn't. And it really kicks into gear in that third act, and then there's some twists.
I mean, this is an old-fashioned movie that like everybody can see. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I mean, relatively not really young kid.
There's nothing like super graphic.
I saw it as a play.
It felt like a play a little bit.
Yeah. It is PG-13, so I mean, it's not super graphic. And did you really, Bill?
Yeah, Peninsula Players, northern Wisconsin in the summertime.
Cool.
They have,
really?
Wow.
And it was kind of cool. It's in this huge, giant barn, and then they raise the walls so you can see the beautiful forest, and there's a stage in front of you, probably holding about 500 people.
Okay.
Wonderful.
And it was thoroughly enjoyable.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
This play.
The story. So the story holds up.
Right. So as a story, as a play, I liked it.
And the setting, mainly taking place on this boat, lends itself to a theater production.
Throw a beautiful green screen behind it, or a forest, or what have you. The Nile.
Yeah. And you're right, Dave. You're playing the music. And,
I'm playing the soundtrack behind us. It's beautiful.
It had an ambiance.
Soundtrack.
Yeah.
It did. Yeah. It gave. Right. Yeah. This has that Egyptian feel.
You know, I don't know if
Yes,
it was because I watched it, midday on a Saturday. It was just
cozy.
It was so good. No distractions. I loved it. I love this movie.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if it won any awards.
And this is like
it had to win something.
Armie Hammer's last movie before all his scandals.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
he's like...
I know, I was going to mention that.
He's in
when was
rehab.
That's what I was like, when was this made? Because he is very taboo right now. Nobody's touching him with a 10-foot pole.
But God, he is so good. I mean,
he's
going to come back.
I couldn't help but think about that
What was
in
his
this
scandal
movie because
again?
I'm like,
he likes...
I like you and I know I shouldn't. Like, you're kind of an asshole, but you're so good and
he's a dirty guy.
Abusive to women.
Yeah,
No.
he was using his good looks to exert power over women. It is a very common narrative that none of us are unfamiliar with at this point.
I heard the word cannibalism.
Ooh, what?
somewhere
Like
in there.
he's a little dirty.
Yeah, he likes weird stuff.
Cannibalism. That's eating people.
Well, I don't know. Maybe
That's a
I don't-
next
I
level.
don't know. whole
I don't know that
just
I've
like
heard
an
that.
arm.
But like
That would be
yes,
fresh.
he probably
Just cuts a little chunk of you off while he's
used
having
his-
sex with you.
ew.
But
yeah.
I mean, he is so good
maybe he
looking.
just likes to bite. Maybe he's a biter.
right.
There you go.
I don't know
Okay.
that it's full on cannibalism, but he's,
Wasn't there that
Ouch.
that
Limits.
basketball announcer that liked to bite people too?
Yes, right. Oh, he had that voice.
Started
Older
with a
fellow.
V.
Yeah. It was a biter.
But I mean, I get it.
Interesting,
Like
okay.
it would be hard to say no to Armie. Like
Yeah,
he's
he's
this
very good-looking
deliciously
guy.
handsome
Oh my
6'4"
God.
dude or whatever. But then like he takes it too far, and apparently he's
Well, apparently, when I read a little bit before the show, he's been in rehab.
right.
I'm
like
sure
like sex
trying to-
addiction rehab.
he's like 2 years out. We'll get him back. But I
Yeah.
mean, he was so good.
He'll
He-
have learned his respect for
I
women.
I mean,
Yeah.
if he could have put like a British accent into his repertoire, he could have been like James Bond.
Yeah,
almost.
right. I mean, what do we know him from mainly?
What was that?
The Lone Ranger?
Rebecca.
Rebecca. That's what I was just thinking of. Same kind of
Oh,
like
Rebecca.
regal, handsome, old-fashioned.
He did the one with
With
Timothy
Lily James.
Chalamet. The
Dune?
Lovers.
Oh.
Call My Name.
Call my name.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's a handsome
Call
fucker.
me by your name.
Yes.
Yeah.
That one's
He's
some
so
awards.
good looking. Probably
Yeah.
affects his life.
Yeah, I mean, like to no fault of his own, he is blessed with
It got him into
ridiculous
trouble.
good looks,
Got him
and
into trouble.
and he took it a little too far here and there.
He could
I
not.
mean, I kind of know the deal.
yeah.
Dave's
No.
like, I relate.
When
You
you're
just got a
so
little
good
bit. You just
looking.
got a little bit more self-control.
Right.
There you
right.
go. We understand. Beating down your door for.
But for whatever it's worth, he was good in this movie. I mean,
Yeah, but-
separating his personal life completely, it's a shame that he has some troubles and needs to learn his lessons. But he was perfectly cast and did well in this movie.
Yeah.
I really love the detective. Kenneth Branagh. I loved his gigantic wing-like mustache.
Double layer, like
And-
it's a
Double
mustache,
mustache,
and then
yeah.
another one comes out from behind
Because
it.
that is
Yeah.
one way to hide a scar. Like
Yeah.
that's so clever.
It was interesting, though. I mean, it seemed as though they didn't bother with a lot of makeup. Once he had the mustache, they didn't have a lot of like fake scarring. You never
Right.
noticed.
You never
anything.
saw that it was a scar.
No.
And I
Yeah,
don't
Bill
think
doesn't
you're-
know that, but it's a little spoiler. But immediately in the beginning of the movie, they show why he has that giant mustache.
Right.
He was in the war and got injured and was heavily scarred.
But like, truthfully,
War
your
hero.
mustache wouldn't grow that perfect around
No,
a scar.
God,
right?
It wouldn't,
You know what
right?
I mean?
Yeah, especially if it's your lip that was affected.
There's something to be said there, but
Right.
it's there was.
But he looked really cool. I mean,
Yeah.
he had an awesome part. Was he supposed to be French? He's French, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because he's had a great accent.
Hercule Poirot.
Yeah,
he-
everybody. I wish I could pronounce.
So
stuff
this
like
is
that.
the same-
You speak French.
I do. Je parle.
Oui,
Je parle
oui.
français un peu. this was the same character carried over from Murder on the Orient Express.
Right, exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, see, I don't know stuff.
Okay, yeah, it's part 2.
I'm just a dummy that watches movies. I really, I'm like the
Was
dumb
this
guy.
opening weekend for this movie? I mean, for
like coming to HBO Max?
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
okay,
Yeah, it was like the first broad, streaming release of it.
okay,
Yeah, fantastic.
absolutely loved it.
Highly recommend.
I mean, don't hit the sound.
I'm not going to hit it. I'm
Yeah,
getting
we're not
ready
done.
to.
We're not
Now,
done.
it didn't have the ratings like off
No.
the chart, and I think partly that's because it is a redone.
yeah,
It's been done
it's
before.
not. It didn't break.
82% audience score though.
Right.
Wow,
so
that
it was
is
very,
63%.
very watchable.
Yeah.
highly pleasing, but
Yes.
nothing revolutionary.
Yeah. Wasn't the Murder on the Orient Express also similarly like a good movie?
It
but
wasn't
people...
as good as this.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't. think so.
I actually never haven't seen.
Yeah,
that
I liked it. I liked it.
recent version.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a good one.
And if you like a murder mystery, this is one well done.
Oh,
Let's
God.
just say
How did
that.
you guys like
Oh,
Russell
yeah.
Brand in here?
I loved him. I was
How
going to
about
mention
that?
that. He was.
didn't
I
even
loved
know-
his like restraint and his
Oh,
like
I lo-
buttoned up like.
Yes,
Who
I mean
are
him with
you?
like a nice haircut and
I didn't
and
even
a
notice him.
well-trimmed beard.
I know he looked so good.
Yeah, he didn't have a line for the first
I thought
20 minutes.
I was like happy.
Didn't even
of being
notice.
on screen.
Didn't notice him
He's
at
the
all.
doctor. That's like the
He was the
Lord,
doctor.
but like
Right.
proposed to her at one
You know,
point.
I
but
kept
she
on.
said no.
I kept on looking at him and going.
Who is that?
I actually was going. Is that Jared Leto?
No.
Okay.
That's what I kept.
I
Sure.
thought it right away. I was
I can
like,
see that.
Russell Brand,
Yeah.
look at you.
Yeah,
like in
I'm
your
with you as well.
look, you look good in a suit.
Yeah, clean yourself up a little bit more often.
Right.
Such a
But good for him
goofball.
in not like, playing a role that is his same old punch cast
Absolutely
stereotype.
right. He played it subtly. I mean,
Uh-huh.
he wasn't an over-the-top character
But
at
he did
all.
have his moments where he, got to rise up and yell a little bit.
He did, right. So he did have that
Mm-hmm.
that zest, that energy when he needed it.
right.
Yeah. Annette Bening also.
Oh, I love her.
Oh,
Her
God,
too.
yeah.
I mean, she could act circles around most people, but like
Yeah.
her too. The character was perfect. Her moments of subtle, sarcasm and then super heightened emotion, like she played it very well, as you would expect.
Yeah. A lot of good sort of
Ridley
secondary
Scott
characters.
as a producer.
Ooh.
That helped with the
I'm sure.
production value.
Elevate
I
it.
imagine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, he's known for really his artsiness, and I think
Oh, yeah.
with the CG, he's taken that up to
The next level.
The next level on this.
I mean, I
show
can't
here.
wait to see it on a big screen, but on my moderate screen, it was. I was
want-
just in awe.
I'll
I
watch
want
it
some
again.
of the
Beautiful it was.
paintings. So Annette Bening's character was a
that's
painter.
right.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
she just was painting on the deck sometimes. And the paintings, I don't know who did those, but whoever you are,
Yeah.
I mean, like phenomenal work there. I would like that.
I mean, literally,
awesome.
if there's a pyramid or Egypt is in a movie,
Yeah.
Dave's in.
I'm in. It doesn't matter.
Well,
A
you
plus.
guys, psyched me up. I gotta watch this
Oh
tonight.
God,
Yeah.
yeah. I would Bill, this is gonna look so good on your TV. You're going to probably weep. I'm telling you.
Not to spoil it, but there was like one scene in Egypt that made me just so jealous, and I was like, "How do I get that life?" Where the detective just it opens to him sitting on just a gorgeous chair, with two beautiful side tables with 2 eggs over here,
Yes.
a lovely
Like a
just
tiny little espresso
tiny
cappuccino type
espresso,
of drink.
And he's looking at the
And in
Sphinx.
front of him
The Sphinx.
is laid out the Sphinx and the pyramids
Yeah.
as he's just having his breakfast. His cane is neatly standing
I bet
there
you
as well.
sign
in the
me up.
30s,
It's like-
you probably could have had
It's like,
that
how
happen.
do I do that?
Well, that was the age of like the ones who made it out of the Depression were filthy stinking rich, and then there was like the haves and the have-nots. That was
Yeah.
actually noted in the plot quite a bit.
It was, yeah.
Oh my God, the guy was flying a kite on the pyramid.
The
in beginning.
rich
Right.
were rich.
Right, we were like, are you kidding me? This is before obviously there was any restrictions. Some guy just climbs a pyramid and is flying a kite because I'm the first one. Well, you want to spoil it too much, but that was a fun scene.
It was great.
There was a lot of those sort of.
Did it have any weak moments?
No,
Interesting.
no, I thought the pace was perfect. It didn't drag at all. The all-star cast was so good that you were just enjoying the
the
acting.
There was a lot of balance in that way. Like
Right.
there was a lot of strong side characters, but no one really overshadowed one another.
They had some real, like Annette Bening being a side character.
Sure.
Huge.
Right.
You know?
Right.
She was phenomenal.
brought a lot to it, you know.
But
that's part of the
that
story.
didn't like discount any of the other side characters' shining moments and them being just as strong.
Right.
Yeah. It was
Good stuff.
It was really.
Okay, now you can hit the sound.
Oh no! I have to. now we can't do it, Don.
So is it? What about recommend? Not recommend.
Recommend.
100% recommend.
Recommend 3.
It's a fun
3 out of
film.
3.
I love it when there's a movie that I wasn't really excited to see.
Yeah.
And then, boom. I mean, so far,
Nice little
it's in my
surprise.
top 10. This is a short
Oh,
year
wow.
so far. One of the best movies I've seen.
There you go.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it. We'll watch it again.
All right.
Fair enough.
Huge recommend by Dave.
Huge recommend. Pyramids, Gal Gadot getting
Dry hump.
Getting hammered. I mean,
Getting hammered. Armie Hammer.
You know what the kids the word the kids use now is smashing.
Oh yeah,
Get
I'm sure they
smashed.
don't say dry humped. That sounds like a dated phrase.
was it a dry? Was there? Was no scooching up of
No,
any
Jordan
clothes?
says that he likes a smasher.
Okay.
Smashing her.
Wow. Okay. Well, they were definitely doing plenty of that. So if you're looking
Yeah.
for a little action, you can even get that in this movie.
Yeah, Bill, you're gonna be.
Yeah.
Hot and
Smash
bothered.
it. All right.
Smashing.
Woo. I love it.
All right. Well, that was fun. Review. And until next time, goodbye.
See you, boys.
10-4 over now.
Later.